Well, hello everybody. Thought it was about time to do another behind the scenes, and I hopefully you can hear me over the air conditioner over there. But this is Rod's Fireside Chat. It was just like, who was it? Roosevelt? One of the Roosevelts. I think it was Franklin Roosevelt that had the fireside chats. It was Teddy Roosevelt that carried a big stick and was quiet. Just another reason I want to get out of this neighborhood. So anyway, I finally got the big pile of wood and bramble out there mostly gone. There's some smaller bramble that probably going to just be broken up and put into bags for the trash. But the rest of this, probably the most efficient and, let's face it, fun way to get rid of it is burning it in my old falling apart Franklin stove. That thing served me well for 16 years here, and it's kind of about to fall apart. So it'll probably wind up going to the metal recycling bin one of these days. Anyway, again, hopefully you can hear me all right. Weather has been actually pretty nice. It's been really nice in the 70s. Perfect weather for working outside, and I've got a lot of work I need to do. Except for yesterday, we no sooner got everything finished up out here and went inside than a storm rolled through, and of course it knocked power out for, fortunately it was only out for an hour and a half this time, I think, instead of the better part of a week like it was a couple of years ago. But anyway, this is going to be a fairly short behind the scenes. I've got a tutorial coming up here pretty shortly that I'm going to put together on how I add shadows to when I put a figure or figures in a scene. Say I take a photograph out here in the yard and I want to put the TNA girls in the scene. Sometimes it works when you get the light just right in Poser or Daz. Sometimes it works to have the rendered shadow. Most of the time I leave it off, and I'll go into all of that when I do the tutorial. But usually I add the shadows in Photoshop, and I'll show you how I do that. It works pretty well, if I do say so myself. I'll break my arm patting myself on the back. But anyway, other news. Back behind the camera is where Joyce and her mom used to live, next door. They have moved out. The house was up for sale. Apparently somebody's already bought it, which bodes well for when I want to sell this place. Yesterday we were talking to, yesterday or Tuesday? I think it was Tuesday. We were talking to Mary across the street, and I guess Joyce called her, and the people that are moving in, from what Mary told me, are Indonesian Indians. Okay, are they, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Are they Indonesian or are they Indian? That makes a difference. Anyway, they're sounds like they're going to be from some part of Asia, which it's fine. I mean, I've known a number of Asian people, and they've been very, very fine people. But anyway, so that's what's happening there. As you can hear, I've got Sterling Avenue right out here, and it's constant racket. People with loud mufflers, loud motorcycles, idiots with their rap crap up so loud you can hear it in the next state. So I just want to try to find a place that's a little bit more peaceful. Got a lot of work to do on this house. As you can see, the patio back here, I'm probably going to go ahead and replace the plywood here. It's looking pretty sad down towards, oh, for a rocket launcher. It's looking pretty sad down towards the bottom. It's kind of dry rotted. So probably what I'm going to do is cover that lower section with a piece of weatherproof, weather-treated wood, either a 2x4 or maybe a 2x6, and then plywood on top of that, then paint it. I'm working on getting some of the scraping done around here to do some painting. The shed in there, I'm going to be diving into that pretty soon. You can see in there where the window used to be that you don't need a window in a shed. Or at least I don't think you do. I've replaced that. I've just basically made a wall out of it. So there's that. Got some, like I said, I got some scraping to do, and hopefully get this place painted and looking nice here in the very near future. And so at some point we can maybe get a decent price out of it. From what Mary told me, they were selling that place as is, and it had some issues in the basement. They got $75,000 out of it, and when we did the refinancing, which by the way we're done with Wells Fargo, we're going through UMB Bank now, so our payments on this place have dropped almost $300 a month with the refinancing. So anyway, they, as part of that procedure, they did an appraisal, and it wasn't a full appraisal where they come out and look inside the house and everything. The guy just, takes a few pictures of it from the front and calls me up and asks me what kind of improvements, like a $10,000 sewer replacement, newer HVAC. It's got a brand new, I think 3 or 4 year old 50-gallon hot water heater, and of course I redid the whole basement in where my Lair is, and there's other improvements. It's got a new garage door. Probably will be putting a new front door on it. I need to redo this whole back door too, at least the storm door. So yeah, quite a few things to do on it, but we're making progress. Anyway, they appraised it at like $99,000, which I was like, great. And I'm going to try to get more out of it. There's a house back there that my loud rap playing obnoxious neighbors live in. I did a little research on that one, and they got $113,000 for that. So I'm hoping I can do something similar with this, because that would make it a lot easier to get a decent place somewhere else. But anyway, my fire's dying. So for now, I am going to sign off. Throw a few more pieces on the fire. And oh, one more thing I want to address before I go. Again, for anybody that's wondering, I am not abandoning Poser. Okay, I'm using DAZ Studio quite a bit. I'm learning my way around DAZ Studio, and I like the things it does. It has some shortcomings that Poser addresses. Poser has some shortcomings that DAZ addresses. So they work together well, at least in my opinion. I know there's a lot of folks out there that, oh, DAZ Studio, ah, and then other people on the other side, Poser, blah. I use them both. You know, I use Poser Pro 2014, I use Poser Pro 11, I use DAZ Studio 4.11 beta, I use Photoshop CC. All of them are tools to create images. And so I'm not the only image generating or image type things that I have abandoned. I don't use Bryce anymore because it just seemed really unstable. I know there's a lot of folks out there, Magic Unicorn and several others, that do some amazing things with Bryce. I've never gotten it to work too well. It either crashes or whatever, and I've got View 10, that's another one that I use for my landscapes when I want to render a landscape. Be probably getting into Blender here before too long too. So anyway, like I said, for those of you that are wondering, no, I'm not abandoning Poser. It's going to be my main go-to still for the TNA series. So rest your minds at ease. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and sign this crazy thing off and see how this sounds. Maybe put it together tonight, and I'll be putting that tutorial together soon as well. So we'll catch you later. And of course now the air conditioner shuts off.